I think are we live now, Hinckley?
Guess what, Corey? We're live. Specifically, you're live. So
I am specifically?
Yeah, you specifically.
I was just standing here in preparation.
I'm just kind of also here, but you're more live than me, I guess. That's what's happening right now.
Okay. Hello.
Welcome.
How's it going?
Welcome all the friends here. Let's look at some comments real quick. Vince was the first one, and I see John Chapman in this.
Oh, John's already
John,
here?
when do you guys get back? Have you guys landed?
I think he said he's getting in later tonight.
Yeah. Later tonight?
Yeah.
He says he's the king of beating a dead horse because he asked about maybe 5 minutes ago if he was the first comment, whenever he clearly wasn't. Thank you, John. So excited. Yeah. So excited to have you back in this building.
So excited to have our bosses back in the building. Yeah.
JK, but you're fantastic, John. I'm just kidding. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. I hope you guys are having a good
But this isn't John's stream today. This is Corey's stream.
That's true, yes.
So, to start Corey's...
You're about to board in Charlotte, in case anybody wanted an update. Very cool. To
start Corey's Takeover Thursday, or New Guitar Tuesday, whatever this is. What day is it? May 70th? All right.
Getting there.
To start, we have a very important announcement that we have an Eastman shipment that is on the way, everybody. And I have the details. I have the deets right here. And I'm going to kind of go over these at the beginning for anybody who wants to go back and reference this video. I do have a lot of stuff here. I'm going to kind of cover the big ones that we have coming in. E4000 Madagascar Rosewood TC. I have one of those in a natural, and I have one of those in a sunburst coming, so that's a big deal. E6LSS TC sunbursts. Got two of those coming in. We have E20D TCs in a sunburst and a natural coming in. But here's the really big one, guys, and that is E20D TC large sound holes. I got 6 of them on the way. Now, of course, the majority of these, actually all of them, have been pre-sold, all 6 of these. We're going to have to wait till we get them in the store, make sure everything checks out, go through our quality inspection, make sure they pass the John test too. I'm sure John's going to take a good look at them. And as soon as that happens, we get them in here, we approve of them. We're going to start calling you folks out there who have these on order. The first 6 people will be getting, hopefully all 6 of them check or go through our process here. Let's see what else we got. We got an AC-922 coming in. Haven't seen one of those in quite a long time. We only get like 2 or 3 of those a year, maybe not even that. So that's going to be a really popular one. E10D TCs coming back in. E10SS TCs, E20OM Madagascar Rosewoods. We have another El-Ray Mandolin coming in. We've got all the standard fare of Eastman mandolins coming back in, including their PCH mandolins. We got like over 50, 60 instruments here coming in, guys. So this is going to be a big shipment. I think, I'm hoping that it's going to be here tomorrow. I think that was the last thing that I heard. So bear with us tomorrow. But if there is something that you are curious about that I just listed off here, I think most of these are available. There are some that may be special orders for folks that have been waiting on something, such as these large sound holes here. But there also are probably going to be a fair amount of these that are just available. Ones like the 922. Haven't seen any of those in like 6 months. If anybody was wanting one of those, now's your chance. So that is the quick rundown. There's obviously more things coming, a lot of standard fare on the way. But those are the big heavy hitters of really cool stuff coming in.
Thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that, Corey. So keep in mind, guys, if you have ordered the LSH and you know you're towards the top, keep your phones at the ready. We will be calling
Phones at the
you
ready.
at some point. And if anything else piques your interest, you can pre-order right now. You can give us a call right now if there's anything that you see that you really, really are like, you know what, been waiting on one of those, let's get it. That's the number on
Well,
your
we've got
screen
some
to do
stuff
that.
coming in that we don't see very often, right?
Yeah,
I mean, the
yeah.
E4000s, like in Madagascar Rosewood, those are, who knows how many
Those
more
were
of
very,
those they're
very
going
limited,
to make.
yeah.
So, I mean, just lots of cool stuff. And this is like candy store stuff, right? Like whenever I know we have a cool shipment coming in of a bunch of neat stuff, it is so much fun to get to play all the new stuff. It's the best part of the job. So,
According to John, this is the last of new models for a while.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know what to do with that.
John's
Oh, I know.
John's the all-knower, the knower of all
Yes, the
things
knower of
with
all
Eastman.
things.
So,
Yeah.
if John says it, it is truth. But yeah, I guess Hinckley, do we have any messages or anything that we want to
Let me
talk
go
about
ahead and
today?
go through everything. Mike Hughes was the second person in here. Vince was first, actually, by the way, not John, parentheses. Guitar Xana, thank you so much for joining us as well. Robert Chesser joining in from East Tennessee. Tex, of course, from Montana as well, joining in. Let's see, Rick P. from Bakersfield, California. Welcome, welcome. Let's see.
It's so cool to see all these people
John
from all
Simpson
over the
guitars
world.
are coming in. Yeah, so the guitars, and if anybody's curious, the Eastman shipment should arrive tomorrow. If you
That's
want
what
to
we're
have
hoping.
a very,
Yeah.
very specific knowledge of that. Herb, welcome in. He says from a foggy day in New York City. Very cool. Welcome, welcome. We'd love to hear that used HD28 and have the chance to compare it with a Yairi Cormier that he has on order. So that's the first request.
Well, do we have a used HD28, Jonas?
We did, but...
Yeah, there was
okay.
one that sold earlier this week. I don't know if I have any over here in the store right now. Yeah, there may be a used one next door. I may not have it out on the floor right now. Depending on how busy the guys are, maybe they'll grab it for us at some point during the stream.
Kelly, yeah, let
So,
us know. Kelly said hello from the Netherlands. Delane,
super cool.
welcome in. Stephen Mooney, welcome, of course. Martin, Mark, both of you, welcome. Rich is in here, and Jim, his brother's joined as well. Let's see. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Okay, Zamir is Corey being dubbed. So I don't know if you guys are going to see like a little out of sync thing. They're talking about the syncness of your voice and the camera. So yeah, they're on different things, so it'll be very, very slight probably, if any. I didn't see that it was
there's always latency with
that
wireless
much.
things.
Yeah, that's just what it's going to be. Let's see. Is there anything cool? Okay, does anybody have any questions or anything that they really, really, really want to see? Let us know now.
Yeah, because I got a couple cool things to open up. I don't even know what they are. So
you're
like
going to
that's
find out, yeah.
and
If you
so
want
I'm
to,
gonna.
you can go ahead and get into that. Why
You
not?
think so?
Yeah, why not?
Wait,
I don't mind.
let's start with this white package here. I think I know what this is.
Maybe I should stop you. We did get one.
Okay.
So Jacob Randolph said would love to hear an Eastman E10M
Sure. Let's see if we got one.
Deluxe, if we have a deluxe.
Let's see if we got one here.
AIPAD said hello from Durham, UK. Welcome, welcome. And then a different Corey, not you obviously,
Not me.
has another request for a
Thought
guitar.
I was the only
so we'll
one.
get to a couple of those requests and then we'll start opening up some cool stuff.
Cool. So this is an E10M Deluxe. With these, of course, it's their standard E10M. So you have Sitka spruce that is torrefied, solid top, and then you have solid sapele back and sides. With the Deluxe, what they added was a full gloss finish and a pickup, a little Fishman pickup. these are sweet guitars. For anyone who's looking for a exceptional value when it comes to an instrument, I mean, there's really not too many other things I would take a look at, right? Bone nut saddle, ebony fretboard bridge, ebony pins. These are, they punch so far above their weight that it's kind of almost comical because of how good these are for less than $800. So that's crazy. Really good guitars. I like these a lot.
Very cool. All right, Corey McCormick says, from Corey to Corey, can I see the used Yairi DYMR?
Do we have that over here, Jonas?
Yeah, we sure do.
Thank you for the
Is that
assist,
this guy right here?
Jonas.
Yep.
The used
John
DYM.
also had a little what am I thinking? Like a little an interjection. He says that is his pick for best value, the E1D and OM Deluxe.
I mean, it may be the, well, I can't say it. It's one of the best picks.
Certainly.
All right, so here is the DYM70. Absolutely, these guitars always kind of stun me a little bit because they have so much presence and so much, they're so alive with so much presence. It's really hard to compare these to any other instruments because the Alvarez Yairis kind of stand on their own. They've also stood the test of time, right? I mean, so many people come into our store talking about their Alvarez Yairi from the 70s or a friend who had one or something like that, and how special those guitars are to people of that generation who had them. And I think that they're making just really awesome stuff. This is just really sweet.
Oh, yeah? All right.
DYM70.
Elle and Kathy have both tuned in as well. This is the guitar also that Herb was asking for a little earlier. So if you don't mind grabbing that one.
Let's take a look at it.
And then just to confirm, Elle, yeah, your El Rey is, I'm going to 100% assume that the one on this order is yours. Yeah, it should be here tomorrow.
It's a good sounding D28, man. You always know when you're playing a D28 because it's big and in your face and boomy.
The question from earlier, Corey, was, I don't know how well you can, if you want to compare that to a Yairi JP Cormier model. I don't know how much you played his, if you did.
So I played the JP Alvarez. I played JP's personal one when he brought it here. Maybe that was in September or October. I have to remember everything. So JP Cormier one, it was their old growth mahogany stuff, or their old stock mahogany, and then it was an Adirondack top, cutaway dreadnought 14 fret. I think I got all that right. I think. Yeah, it's a very different guitar from a D28, right? Rosewood versus mahogany. Overall, fairly similar in its dimensions, I would probably say, to a HD28 because it is a dreadnought, but with a cutaway. But yeah, a relatively different sonic side of the spectrum, right? With Adirondack and mahogany versus a guitar like this, which is a standard HD28 Sitka and Indian rosewood.
So next question, do you know if that was a 2024 or 2025?
I think it's a 24 model. Yeah,
All right.
HD28 2024. Sounds great. The 2025 models are obviously great too, but there's nothing wrong with 2024 models. They are fantastic. Martin's been making great stuff for a long time, and this guitar is no different.
All right, here's the next request, and then I think that we should probably hop into unboxing some stuff.
Yeah.
So this is from Michael, wanting to hear an LSS KOA.
Yeah, I think I played this the other day. I really enjoyed this.
That one gets requested like almost every single live stream.
Honestly, a great sounding guitar. This is super cool. Koa is kind of warmer, right? Especially whenever you have an all solid wood guitar of the same wood. You tend to, its attributes get highlighted, or it's exponentially more. Like if you have an all mahogany guitar, it's that much more woody and mid-rangey. This is more like warm and resonant and soft, like a pillow.
Okay. So there was a couple
Sounds
of,
great, though.
while you're going to go ahead and get into these guitars, there was a couple of like just opinion sort of questions.
Okay, yeah.
Information questions. What does sinker woods do to a guitar, in your opinion?
Yeah, that's a great question. I know I've talked with John about this a lot, amongst others. I even talked to Dana Bourgeois about this last time we went to dinner with them last year. So sinker woods, from my understanding, is obviously when a log or some form of wood is sunk, right? And it collects minerals and all the things that are in the water of where it sat for a long time. What that does is it affects the density of the wood. And when you have wood that's more dense and all those minerals seep into the wood, it changes the tone, right? A denser wood probably means quicker response in some areas, and maybe even gives a little bit more depth to the wood. So that's my understanding of it, and everything that I've heard. So, and I feel like that's fairly accurate to my personal opinions on ones that I've played. Although most of the ones I've played have been a sinker mahogany. Sometimes I've played guitars that have tops that have sinker redwood, which we do have one of those in here right now. I played it the other day. It's a Loudon. And so yeah, it also affects the aesthetic somewhat of the wood, because sometimes you can see how those minerals have affected the wood itself and seeped into the cracks and the crannies. So.
All right, so a couple more things. Elle was wanting to hear these two Bourgeois double O's.
Sure. Is this the one I broke the string on the other day?
Yes, that is the one that you broke the string on. So that
Better
the
have
string
a
has been
great
fixed.
G string on it.
Okay.
Give me a tuner, please.
Jonas helped me remind me which ones they are, by the way. I'll ignore my previous comments.
I can't tune.
But we can go ahead and get to that. And then real quick, so another question. Joe is asking, what is the difference sound-wise between the HD28 and the D35?
Well, the D35s are unscalloped, right? So that's the big thing. And unscalloped guitars, like the older D28s prior to this year, have more of a. It's like they have less sustain, but they have this really kind of quick response without a lot of sustain. It's a sound that reminds me of 70s Martins and guitars a lot. It's a wonderful sounding guitar. This is so different than anything else that we have in the store. It's super like dark sounding and has like this really beautiful like low end, very very dark sounding guitar. And it's ebony back and sides, right? So that's kind of been my experience with ebony or Macassar ebony back and sides. Thank you, Jonas. So here we got the all mahogany Bourgeois.
And just when I thought,
That's a C run.
gotcha.
I did it. Oh,
job,
Hinckley's
Corey.
not impressed. Okay.
No.
This is a great sounding guitar too. This is an
Not at all.
older one. This is one that came from our shop to a local customer, and then he wanted to move on from it to get something different, and so now we have it in here on consignment. And this is a beautiful guitar. This is the all mahogany LDBO Bourgeois Blues, and it's got that cool like Ivoroid style, or I don't know what you would call that, pick guard. But yeah, super sweet guitar and beautiful too.
Lovely.
Beautiful to boot.
All right, let's go ahead and get into these boxes, dog.
Yeah, let's do it. Also, dog.
Heck yeah.
Hinckley's my cohort.
Yes. Coercion going on right now.
Yeah, collusion.
Collusion.
All right. Be careful with the box knife.
Do.
How's everybody doing out there today? I'm having a pretty good day. I guess they would be saying if it were
Yeah,
otherwise for them,
They
huh?
would be saying it right now.
Cool. Oh my gosh.
Also, okay, so real quick, I said also the other 00. It's nice to hear them
So
all
much stuff
together.
in here.
I don't know.
All right, so this, guys, is a Furch guitar. I can tell by the Hiscox case, and also the big F on the side of the box may give it away too a little bit.
Here's a quick question for you. Do you put medium strings on Eastman dreadnoughts?
I do, personally. I like medium strings. The tension doesn't bother me, and I like as much oomph as I can get out of a guitar, even if I'm playing something softer, right? I think that there's this misrepresentation of what medium strings are, and some people think that they need to have that I'm only going to play medium strings if I want to play bluegrass or play super hard. But medium strings can be great on smaller body guitars too. The tension just changes the sound and the note profile, if that makes sense.
And then if you're asking like in our actual stores, I think so, yeah. Typically if they need to be changed, then we do end up changing them over to mediums.
I think
they come in lights though.
Yeah, we got a vintage, is this a 2? Vintage 2 DSR. These are great. Smells good too.
But nonetheless, whenever you order from us, we change it to whatever string you want.
Thank you. I was going to try to do it, but I'm not as quick as some of our other folks here. So this is the Vintage 2 Dreadnought with their new system in it, I do believe. It certainly does. It has it. What do they call that again? It's the VTC, I think? CNR, I'm sorry.
CNR Active.
CNR Active system.
So that one has it?
It does, yeah.
Makes sense. I think that we're only going to be getting them in with that. And
you want to show this?
That's our
Trent,
first...
do you think you can see this on the...
Maybe so.
On the camera? So there is a wood block in here, and this actually determines the neck angle. So you have your truss rod, right, to adjust your actual action. But the block in here takes a certain type of tool, and you can use that tool to actually affect the neck angle entirely. And it's supposed to be self-regulating too, which is really cool, meaning that as humidity changes in either going up or down, that block should regulate the neck angle you have it at, which is super crazy and inventive and really cool. Great sounding guitar as always from Furch. What's really cool about these guitars is they're so like lively and they're kind of on the brighter side, I would say, but the rosewood kind of balances that out. Very loud and robust. For someone who's looking for a great playing, obviously with the neck system and everything they have here, I mean, that's just less things you have to worry about, right? With neck resets and stuff. You really shouldn't have that much issue with the guitar for its lifetime, which is crazy. Really cool. But for someone who's looking for a more modern sounding guitar, kind of in the vein of like the Taylor-esque world, but in my opinion, I would pick something like this. I think they're really great.
Very cool. All right. Welcome in,
nice
Kenneth.
cases too.
Kenneth has joined us.
Hello,
Thank
Kenneth.
you for saying hi. Next, Robert is asking, if the guitar comes with 12s, can it be changed to 13s without affecting intonation?
Yes. So anytime you're changing the tension on a guitar, and wherever that may be, going from lights to mediums is not a drastic change in pounds of pressure from the strings. but it is a change, right? And any change affects the whole, or any changes of small things affect the whole of the playing of the instrument. So if you do switch out 12s to 13s, let's say, or 13s to 12s, vice versa, you could notice that the neck inches up or down ever so slightly. But these are very normal things, right? Because there's like a 20-pound difference in pressure between mediums and lights. These can be corrected very easily by a slight truss rod adjustment. And by slight, I mean very slight. It's the difference between, if you need to do like a full turn to get like the neck really changing, it's probably just like a really quick little turn on a truss rod. So it really doesn't affect it much, and it's a very simple fix.
John says shouldn't be an intonation issue.
No intonation issues, because that typically comes from the way the neck is set with the bridge and the nut.
And then a couple more things. Matthew is asking, are Furch guitars made in Austria or Germany? Neither. Furch guitars are made in the Czech Republic. Yep.
Yeah, and Mr. Petter Furch, we have an interview, I think, up with him from Los Angeles.
Yeah, whenever we went to NAMM.
Yeah, he's a very nice man, and one of the most innovative minds in current guitar building, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Jeremy, by the way, Jeremy Chapman, whoever that is, are you a new viewer? He says he wants to remind everybody to hit the like button. It's for the Al Gore rhythms. Al Gore and all of his
Al
rhythms.
Gore rhythms?
Yeah, for Al Gore and all of his rhythms.
That was very funny to me. All right.
Next question, this is from L. How difficult is it to change a pick guard? Personally, there are some that I'd like to put clear one on just because the top wood is so beautiful. So what's the difficulty of doing something like that?
It's a specialized thing. It's not something I'm particularly super comfortable doing. I know John is very adept at it. Thomas, our tech next door, is very good at it as well. The thing with replacing a pick guard is that it's adhesive, right? That's formed to the top. So it needs to be probably heated up in some way to actually extract that from the top of the previous one. And then usually the application of a pick guard isn't all that hard in and of itself. You just want to make sure that it's set correctly and lined up against the rosette and the bridge correctly. This is where I am not very good at it. John has showed me once, and he's particular about how he wants it done. But I wouldn't be doing it to customers' guitars. I wouldn't trust myself.
But you probably have to like take it somewhere else.
I would take it somewhere if you really wanted it done. Yes, it could theoretically be done by anybody, but it's a particular process. But yeah, okay. So, got another guitar here. I do not know what this is. I have no idea.
That's okay.
I know what the brand is because it's right here. And it says Boucher? Boucher?
Bougie guitars. All right, Jeremy says he's taking off and they're going into airplane mode. We'll see you guys whenever we see ya.
Goodbye, bosses. See you soon.
Bye, everybody. See ya.
All right.
Bye, bosses.
What do we got here? None other than a BG-41 TG. So this is the companion to the one that we played on Tuesday.
Yeah.
This is the one. And look how good in tune it is already, right out of the box. So this is if you all are not aware, I'm forgetting how to talk here. This is an all torified guitar. We have torified top, Adirondack spruce, and then torified mahogany back and sides. Oh, these guitars smell so good. Do you guys smell your guitars whenever you get them in? I always do.
Why not? We'll see you around, Robert.
is a great, 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 great OM. Shaving a haircut.
Very nice. All right. A couple of questions on that one for you, Corey.
Yeah.
Dan is asking, what about the neck? Is it torified as well?
I believe so. Yeah. I may have to double check that, but I think it's a torified neck as well. So what they do, like this is one of the only companies that I'm aware of that does the torified mahogany, right? It's really hard to do. Like people have been doing torified spruce for a while, but that's because spruce can hold up to being baked in a vacuum. Mahogany has been a little trickier, right? And most places still can't do rosewood because rosewood is too porous of a wood and too oily of a wood, I guess you could say. Man,
Next
somebody's
one.
going to get a wildly good mahogany OM. This is stupid good. Sounds so awesome. What?
Next, Joe's asking, does that have a larger sound hole on it?
The Bluegrass Gooses do. It's a marginal. It's very, very small. It's slightly bigger. I don't know the actual numbers to give you, but it is ever so slightly bigger than the SG, which is the Studio Goose. The Studio Goose is set up a little bit more appropriate for people who are wanting a light gauge string type of playing, more of a strummer, and obviously an OM is a versatile guitar. But this is a big sounding guitar for an OM, and it is gorgeous and it plays excellently.
Hey, you said that you were going to get an OM next. That would be a pretty sick one.
I mean, I would love to have this. but so whenever you're in my situation, guys, if you were in my situation, what would you do? Just go bankrupt? I mean, like that would be, like I have to be very particular about the guitars that I take home with me.
It's kind of true.
And as much as I would love to have, I do want a Boucher, and I would love to have this personally, but I mean, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to buy.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready for the next request? Yeah. So Scott is asking.
It's beautiful though. I love this.
In your opinion, what is a good guitar for fingerstyle under 1K? Small body.
Good guitar for fingerstyle under 1,000. It's a great question. So whenever I talk to people about fingerstyle guitars, right? Usually a person who wants something to play with fingerstyle is playing softer, right, than someone who would with a pick. So something that is extremely resonant to softer touch, I think would be the first step for me, or the first thing that I would look for. Jonas might be grabbing me something right now because he thought of something too.
Can I interject real quick as well? Do you know the price that Boucher sells those at?
I do. I do not. I don't off the top of my head.
I think it's like 64-ish.
Yeah, 64-ish is what Jonas just said, but we haven't looked it up here. So this is actually the type of direction I was thinking of. So if I'm looking for a great fingerstyle guitar under $1,000, I would look at the E10M Deluxe. There's a few reasons why. It is a short scale. It's 24.9 inches, right? With a short scale length, and the scale length is from the saddle to the nut here. With a shorter scale length means less tension on the strings, which means the strings are floppier, which they feel a little bit nicer on the flush of your fingers to play. And the strings are just bounce off your fingers, not with as much tension. So that's the first thing. The next thing is that this is a cedar top. Cedar tops, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone out there who is more of a fingerstyle player than I am, but cedar tops are warm, responsive, and it's a lot softer wood than spruce is. Therefore, it doesn't take as much. It doesn't take as much to get as much out of it, if that makes sense. Like I don't have to strum this as hard as I do an Adirondack spruce top to get its maximum tone out of it, if that makes sense. So that would be that. The next thing would be that this is an OM style, right? So shorter depth of body. So the actual feeling of holding it up and, you know, intimate with a smaller body guitar is more comfortable for some people. And like I said, I'm not much of a fingerstyle player, but I'll try to play a little bit so maybe they can hear what this sounds like. Yep. So that's kind of what you're getting with a cedar topped guitar. Is something that isn't going to have as much ceiling or headroom to really push and drive, but what it is going to have is a lower ceiling for people who don't need to drive that hard. And that's why there's so many different guitars out there, right? Is because you have so many different types of players. Each one of you out there in the comments plays differently from the last. And it's cool to have guitars like this. I would love to have a cedar top guitar. I don't have one. Most of my guitars are set up for bluegrass stuff, and I'm finding myself as I get a little bit older, I'm not that old, but as I get a little older, wanting variety. Whenever you have 5 of the same guitar, like I do, you can start to play the same things on each one. And it's nice to have variety. Yeah, so.
Next question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you read off the price for that one real quick, if you don't mind?
This one is $769. $819? Okay, $819. Sorry.
Yo, that's some tax change. Oop. Okay. Oh, okay. Price, yeah, but prices went up for Eastmans and stuff. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then next, somebody was asking, do you have any news on the Eastman E10M Deluxe?
Any news? Well, I don't know if it's, I don't think it's in our latest shipment. So the last thing that I was aware of here, and this is, of course, I think something John has talked to you all about, but a lot of manufacturers, and I think things are starting to settle down a little bit. We're going to kind of figure out as we move into throughout May and into June here. But there's a lot of things that have kind of stopped, right, and kind of had a halt put to it. And the E10M Deluxes very well may be here in America, but just haven't made it to Eastman yet from their respective boats.
I know that other stores do have that in stock. I think that we have had them before. We just don't have one at the moment. Yeah.
Well, we have people who have special orders for them, and we will be one of the very first people to get them as soon as they come into America and are able to be sent to us. Yep. That's as much as I know, anyway. So.
All right. Is there any other questions? Any other questions for the Corey? Any other request?
I don't know. I just put this in drop D.
Good for you. You know, Alex asked earlier if there's any mandolins in here. We could talk about the hats. Do you want to bring those up again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Bring up the hats, and then if you want to, you can look at some mandolins, your mandolin of choice.
My mandolin of choice.
Yeah,
All of them.
good answer.
I like them all pretty much with the same amount. Cool. So guys, we have new hats. Everyone out there, we got new hats. I got the green one personally. I like the green one. We have the black one, and these are like your traditional style ball caps, right? Just a standard kind of hat. I forget what we have on the pricing on these. They're $22.99. That's right. And then we have John's personal favorite. This is, I've been seeing John wear this around a lot. And this is the mesh back cap. I like these too. It's got kind of like the leather stitched front here, which is really cool. These are a bit more expensive. They're $32. But yes, we do have new hats as well as our older hats too, which we're still going to keep around with the flying guitar mountain scenic view. I forget what they call these. And then some of the other ones. We have Martin hats. We have all sorts of cool stuff. And then let's look at some mandolins.
Alex, he said the 505 in yesterday's short was pretty nice.
Was
I
it?
agree. Heck yeah.
Let's see. My favorite one in
I think
here.
that I personally am gonna get a black one. So
You're gonna get a black
I need
one?
To get, yeah, I need to actually buy it or ask the chappies if I can have one.
Let's see. What do we got in here? Honestly, I've been liking these a lot.
Oh yeah.
These Octolindos are incredible. I'm not a good mandolin player, guys, so bear with me here, but I want to play this. I almost do a chop chord. These are so cool, guys. These are the Octolindos, and they are just the coolest things ever. They're a ton of fun. It's like a guitar mandolin. It's all the things that I like. But these are really cool. Like I said, I'm not a great mandolin player. That's the Jeremy for that. Got an 815 here. These are cool. These are the varnish finishes. If you guys have not played these, they are super special. Hand-rubbed varnish finish and bound fretboard, extended fretless fretboard scoop here. But it's all hand-rubbed in a hand-rubbed varnish, right? It's the same type of varnish that they use on their orchestral instruments, and I think they sound awesome. Really open sounding. So,
all right, a couple
yeah.
more questions. So Tex was asking about
we
the
go.
green hat. If it was a dark green, I would certainly categorize this as a dark green. Yeah. Here's the comparison via the Corey. I would definitely categorize
this is the hat
it
I
as
liked.
a-
I
as a
like the
dark
green one. Green's one of my favorite colors. So,
And then next up for some requests. All right. So, can you play the CEO 7?
maybe. Let's see if we got one.
Okay. And then L, you were talking about getting a white hat. You know what? I'll put in that request for them. We should be able to
There we
do
go.
that. I think that we should have a bunch of different colors of these hats.
So
like
I
them.
love these, y'all. These CEO 7s. This is a favorite of mine. Who's going to clean up this mess over here? Jonas? The CEO7. These are super comfortable and sound awesome. I think they're just fantastic. So, yeah, definitely check these out if you guys haven't played these before. They are awesome.
All right, let's see if there's any other questions. Alex was asking, is the oval hole F-style a 414?
Let's see.
Yes, that is the...
Yep. Yeah, the oval hole F-style is a 414. I have one in here. Oval holes are a completely different style of mandolin, right? So you typically have a shorter neck. So you have a shorter neck, you have an oval hole. It's almost like more of a strumming mandolin. They tend to be a little bit brighter, a little bit more open than your standard F holes. But yeah, they're fantastic. We also have the 404 black top too in an A style.
All right,
So.
next comparison, if you ever so will. Let's see. Scrolled away on me. How does the CEO7 compare to the E6LGSS? Do we have an E6LGSS that we can...
Yeah, I think so.
It's pretty user-friendly.
They're great guitars. They're very different, right? The LGSS is a different body style, really. That is a 00, wrong one. It's this one. I like these a lot. I think these are awesome. These are my, for the money, these are one of my personal favorite picks out there. So these are awesome. I love these. If you are looking for a LG style, and LG stands for Gibson marketed this back in the day as catalog guitars, learning guitar. It was meant to be an approachable body shape, and they became very popular. So you saw LG 1s, LG 2s, LG 3s from Gibson back in the 40s, 50s, things of that nature. I actually own a 1954 LG 3. Those were the natural top with the X-braced pattern, which I love. It's got a lot of problems, so I don't play it that much. But I do love that guitar. And I like this body style a lot. It kind of bridges the gap between 00 and OM, sort of. I actually kind of like the way these feel in some ways more than OMs and 00s. So, yeah, these are great. For the money, this is absolutely the pick. If you want the Adirondack top and you want that Martin sound and rumble that is specific to Martin, there's a lot of guitars out there that are doing great stuff, but no guitar ever really sounds like a Martin, right? Just like no guitar sounds like an Eastman. They all have their individual nuanced qualities. And because of that, the Eastman, I think, is it's a lot of guitar for the price. I think these are like $1,200 or something, with a hard shell case, bone nut saddle, rosewood fretboard bridge. And excellent attention to detail. That's probably my biggest thing, and the thing that I think people are most concerned with when they're getting a new guitar that's an import guitar, right? Is the attention to detail. How does it sound? Does it feel good, right? All of these things, does it feel premium, right? And most people know right away what they think. And I think, yes, they do feel premium. They feel and sound amazing. So These are one of my favorite picks right now for a LG 00-ish style guitar at this price point. So
Good, good, good. All right, I don't see any other requests. If anybody has any other requests for stuff, you should type that in here right now. We can play anything that we have in here, of course. Just let me know. But we might be calling it an end pretty soon. This is a fun one, and you didn't answer it the other day, Corey. What is your current favorite guitar in the store right now? You should play that.
my current favorite guitar in the store right now. Did someone ask me that?
That's me.
I feel like I
asking you
get
that.
oh, that's you.
And then actually,
What's your
we did
favorite
have
guitar?
another request for this bad boy.
What is it? Oh, it's an E3?
An E3.
Cool. I like these too. I like all these guitars, guys. I mean, these are all great in their own ways. All great.
Are you ready for another question?
Sure.
What is your favorite hard shell case? This is the same person, Chuck, asking this guitar originally, so I guess what would be a good hard shell case for an instrument like this?
Good hard shell case for an instrument like this. So, you know, cases are always an interesting discussion to have because I do feel like ultimately it depends on what you, like how hard do you think you're going to be on the guitar, right? Because this comes with, this one in particular comes with a gig bag, which is more than acceptable for just A to B type of basic stuff. But if you're throwing stuff in the back of vans where your bandmates are throwing stuff too, or you're wanting to be a little bit more particular about humidity and temperature control, then a hard shell case is totally warranted. I would take a look at Guardian, Gator, and TKL on the higher end. TKLs are usually American made and a little bit more expensive. But Guardian makes pretty good cases at around $150, so does Gator. And the TKLs are closer to $200, $250. But they're all great in their own way. Just depends on how much you want to invest. You could spend $2,000 on a Calton case if you wanted to. But diminishing returns at a certain point, yeah.
All right, just because we're right here, I'm gonna hand you the E10 We're gonna switch off real quick. E10 was requested. Somebody else requested the J4 or the D45.
This guitar sounds awesome. Big neck on this guy. beautiful sounding guitar.
All right, and then
Really
to
big neck
answer
on
this
these.
one, to answer this one is torrified, yes.
Yeah, it's torrified. I like the neck on these. I like thicker necks, but it is more of that baseball bat variety. So people beware if you're adverse to that.
Next, he was
Yeah.
asking, do you have a Furch Blue Deluxe? I don't think that we
No,
do.
unfortunately, I do
Yeah.
not have that right now. We did have one and it sold, but yeah, we can always get you one if that's something that you want.
Next question, what strings would you put on an E6OM if it's feeling a bit thin and too bright?
Yeah. So if you are disliking brightness, right, there's a few different directions or routes that you can go. Typically, where I like to point people are a couple different routes, that, which would be either looking at something like the nickel bronze strings up here. You have the lights, and then you have mediums. You could also look at the retros, which are a Monel-based nickel string. Those are very warm. The nickel bronze is more of like splitting the difference a little bit, but the Monels are very warm and very retro sounding. Monels do sound great for about 20 minutes, and then they go dead on me, it seems, but a lot of people love them. The other option I would take a look at would be taking a look at, let's see here, going either from a 12 to a 13 if you can stand the tension difference. But you could also look at some of these new Martin Kovar strings. I actually liked these quite a bit. I put them on my D18 maybe a month or so ago. I did really like them. They didn't last as long as I prefer. I usually use the XS strings over here personally because of their longevity. But if you're wanting to experiment a little bit, I think that would maybe be kind of the adventure I would take string-wise. So.
All right, this is going to be the last one, and then we're going to call it a day. Anders is asking, and honestly, I don't think that we have one over here, though, an E10 DTC.
I do not have one over here,
not
but there
have
is one that is en route right now.
A couple on the
We
way.
do have a lefty. You guys want to hear me try? Oh my goodness, where's the lefty?
I thought we had a left.
Nonetheless, if you don't
That's right here.
mind, could you please compare your opinions on the E10D versus a D18?
Yeah, give me 1 second here.
Okay, great.
So my thoughts about the E10D. What I really like is the punch on these. Right, I own an E10D. I've had one for quite some time. Oh, I'm holding it the wrong way. I've had it for quite some time. What I love so much about these is how they break in over time. Adirondack tops, notoriously, to a lot of people, can be a little bit tight at the beginning when you first get a guitar. But what I like about these is that they thermocure these, right? So they have a little bit of a jump start on that little bit looser tone. And tight is not bad, necessarily. Crystalline is good. If you get those crystalline highs and those really articulate notes with an Adirondack top, that's what you get with an E10, and that's why I love them for bluegrass style stuff. And if I could play left-handed, I would demonstrate this better for you, but as you may have just witnessed, that is my absolute best that I can do, and it's not very good. So, but as always, I'm sure that you've heard us sing the praises of the Eastman stuff into oblivion here, but they are really just that good of guitars. Now they have, just like anything else, they have their goods and their strengths and weaknesses, right? Just like any other brand, and then that's up to you, fine gentlemen and ladies out there who play guitar, to decide what's right for you, and hopefully us to help guide you too a little bit as what the right instrument is for you. Because there's so many, and it's a little overwhelming how many options there are in 2025, and we just got to do our best to try to articulate these things to you. Hopefully I'm doing an okay job.
You did fantastic today,
we'll go through that,
Corey.
so.
You did fantastic today, Corey. All the people said they love all your playing on all the various instruments that you played today. Great job. With that, I think that we're going to go ahead and call it a day. So Elle was asking real quick if we're doing an unboxing tomorrow. If we are, then that will be a surprise for you guys. I'm not here tomorrow. I don't know what they're going to plan on doing.
Yeah.
They just might, though. You never know.
Yeah, I have no idea. If they come
depends
in,
on
if it
how
comes in
tired they
tomorrow,
are.
I wouldn't put it past old John Chapman to start opening a few boxes on camera.
I wouldn't
but,
either, so.
But I can't say for sure. We don't even know if it is for sure coming tomorrow.
If it does happen,
so-
though, it will be surely a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the bell notifications on and subscribed if you are not already. Thank you, everybody that's watched this. If you enjoyed what you saw today, if you leave a like, then that helps us grow even more and more and more. And we do want to grow even more. We're reaching 60,000 subscribers. Fun fact.
60,000?
60,000 will be.
When I first
is our
started
next
here,
big goal, I
when I
think.
first started here in 2021, we had like 6,000.
That's not correct.
Is
we
it not?
had, whenever I started, because
Yeah.
we started only like a month apart.
Yeah.
I started and we had less than 2,000.
Less than
So,
2,000 subscribers in
We
2021.
barely hit 2,000 probably whenever you started.
Wow.
So. it's
60,000
been a-
people.
it's been a
That's
journey,
really
yeah.
hard to wrap my mind around. We're
It
this
is.
tiny shop in Springfield, Missouri, and we just try really hard, right? So we try really hard to help you all get the instruments that you want and that you're looking for, and that's a really cool number. So
Yeah, that's
thanks for
insane.
watching, y'all.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Yes,
it's a
absolutely.
big
Thank
deal.
you all for watching, all your incredible suggestions. If you need anything, that's exactly what we're here for. We're happy to answer any of your questions. Phone number's right there that you can call any time of the day, within our hours, of course. But real quick though, Chapman's will be back, so you will have your regularly scheduled live stream next week. And I would wager to say if they're just a little too sleepy tomorrow and they're not able to do the stream tomorrow, then we most likely will have one on Monday. So
The
keep an eye
Chapmans
out
have been
for
traveling
that.
the earth here
They
lately,
have been,
y'all.
yeah.
So
They have been.
yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys. Thank you all so much.
Thank you
Very
for hanging
awesome.
out with me and Miss Hinkles over here.
Yes.
We've had a good time hanging out with you, and yeah, as always, keep playing, and hope to see you on the next stream.
Bye-bye, guys.